I'm here with Gloria Guevara Manzo, Minister of Tourism of Mexico. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Well, you have been following your trails through the conferences and your presidents in Las Vegas at the World Travel and Tourism Council. How did you manage to get your president attention to tourism?
Well, President Calderon understands the benefit and the importance of the travel and tourism industry, and since he invited me to join his cabinet as Secretary of Tourism, I was convinced of the importance that he assigns to this travel and tourism industry. As a matter of fact, he declared this year the Year of Tourism in Mexico. Early this year, we also signed a national agreement. For the first time ever, the entire country is working in one agenda, same objective. And when I'm saying the entire country, it's not only President Calderon's government, but also the governors of the states, the legislators, like the Congress, men and women, the senators, the universities, the private sector, the unions that we have. Everyone is working exactly the same agenda. We have more than 100 actions included in this very important document, that they are part of 10 strategic themes that we have to execute. So far we have 35% progress on this document, and the actions are very important to position Mexico from the number 10 in the ranking from the UNWTO to the top 5. So President Calderon truly believes in travel and tourism industry. So for me, it's just a matter of supporting his vision and executing. So it is really an honor to have a president, and it's great to have someone who understands that.
And he invested 1 week with Peter Greenberg.
Yes, he was for
to show him Mexico.
Exactly, almost a week while he was working and going to different places throughout the country. He took the time to show him what we have to offer from cultural tourism and adventure traveling in Mexico. You're right. He not only knows the country inside and out, he also knows the culture, and he was able to explain to Peter Greenberg some of these places.
I've been following the Mundo Maya program, which, of course, Mexico is one of the key components of it. What's the update on this program in general and as it relates to Mexico?
In Mundo Maya, we are very privileged to be 5 countries that are part of the world of Mayas. You have, of course, Mexico, who has 5 states, but the 5 countries are Mexico, Belize, Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. Last year we met in San Salvador, and Mexico is commissioned to be the leader of implementing this Mundo Maya for the entire region. So we are right now, as we speak, defining the route of, the itinerary that we suggest for the travelers so that they can visit these 5 countries. In the case of Mexico, we chose for these 5 states 10 icons, 2 per state. These are archaeological sites that they must be visited while they come to Mexico. So we're in the process of defining that route, and we are in the process of also assigning the connectivity to visit to all these places and promoting that to tour operators. We already have a calendar of activities for 2012, and it's going to be very interesting. As you know, I'm sure that you have heard, the calendar, Maya calendar, ends December 21st, 2012. So there are a lot of reasons to visit all these sites, to understand the contribution from the Mayas, and not only that, to have a chance to see the descendants of the Mayas, because they still live in our countries. In the case of Mexico, they speak Mayan, they keep their traditions, and for us it's a great opportunity to share to the world what is their contribution not only to Mexico but to the world in culturally speaking and in their traditions. Now their calendar is so precise that has been able to predict eclipses, it has been able to predict equinoxes, a lot of things. According to their calendar, it ends December 21st, and that's the beginning of a new era of prosperity, of peace, and a lot of great things for the humanity. So for us, it's a great opportunity to share that with the world, and we're leading the efforts. Mexico's leading the efforts and working together with the other 4 countries so that we can share to the rest of the world what we have to offer in the Maya world.
With the, in regards to security and some of the problems that continues in Mexico, how is that adjusted? What have you had to do with the tourism industry to adjust to that situation, to still be able to receive visitors and make them feel safe?
Mexico is a pretty large country. Mexico has 2,500 municipals, so we are equivalent to the counties, for instance, in the U.S. 80 of those have issues, and those 80 are very focalized and very far from where you have Mundo Maya and a lot of the touristic destinations. So what we have been able to do, or we're trying to do, is to be more proactive and communicate our side of the story. When people talk about Mexico, they are unfortunately not as specific. If something happens in a little town in the middle of a mountain and nowhere in Mexico, they say Mexico. And when we talk about, for instance, the U.S., and something happens in LA, does that mean that we cannot go to New York? Of course not, we know that, right? But in Mexico, there is not a clear understanding of where is what. And one thing that we're trying to do is be more proactive and communicate exactly where are the cities, where are those touristic destinations, and provide more facts. For instance, you will be surprised with the statistics of crime in these cities that are part of the Maya world. The crime rate is so low that is lower than the touristic destinations in the U.S., it's lower than a lot of destinations in Europe, for instance, and they are very safe, they are very fine, you can walk around, and proof of that is the number of tourists that they visit all the touristic destinations in Mexico is up. Last year we received 22.4 million travelers. This year so far, the numbers of the first 7 months of the year are up versus last year. We also have an increase, very interesting, of 145 nationalities. And more interesting is that the nationalities that they are doing better in terms of their economy growing are the ones that are increasing the number of travelers to Mexico. You will see the BRIC countries, for instance, leading the way, and then we have some countries in Europe and some other countries throughout Latin America and the regions that they are doing better. So what we're trying to do is to communicate more proactively our reality. The perception is here, the reality is here, we have to reduce that gap. And my recommendation every time that someone comes and asks, I say two things. First, get a map, understand the geography in Mexico and the distance between these touristic destinations and where we have issues. Many times it's like thousands of miles away. And the second recommendation is talk to someone who has been in Mexico recently, and you will see.
So get on the internet, that's where you'll find it.
Exactly, you will see that they got a great experience.
Gloria Guevara Manzo, Minister of Tourism of Mexico, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.